Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the MMF podcast. So, today, kita berbual pasal benda hangat. You've seen the news where Great Eastern stopped the pre-authorization for private hospitals. If you have no idea what that means, basically the insurer kata, no, I don't want to cover this part. I'm not going to issue any guarantee to say that your hospitalization, your procedure will be covered by the insurance. Scary, right? Can you imagine if you're a patient and you want to go for a procedure, then all of a sudden, the insurer come back to you, no more guarantee. I don't know whether I want to cover this or not until you have to pay full price. And we know private hospital, the bills can be 6 digits and above.
Yep.
Scary shit, right?
Mm.
Right? Anybody was warded recently? So Zul, you were warded. What the heck happened?
Kidney stones.
Apa?
I was diagnosed with kidney stones, having kidney stones lah. So I was warded because the kidney stone infected my kidney. So the kidney started to get infected. Then I had high fever. So they had to ward me and flush me out with antibiotics just to ensure that my kidney doesn't fail. Yeah.
Asal kau kena kidney stone?
Long story short, tak banyak minum air lah.
Tahu pun. Tengok anak kau pun ketawa. But walk us through the process. Come on. What happened from the Shield Plan insurer perspective? You're a financial advisor, been doing this for years now. Let's share your own personal experiences when you were hospitalized for something that could have been prevented.
Okay, for when I got hospitalized recently, it was not something planned lah, definitely. So when you get hospitalized, the hospital will, what do you call that? The finance department will come to you and ask you whether you covered, which ward do you want to take, whether you want to take a private class A or is it class B. So it depends on your insurance coverage, which coverage that you have, which will cover the majority of the hospital bills that will incur over the period that you are staying. So for myself, I just comfortable with government B. So yeah, that's what I took, and yeah, that's how I got covered.
So how much was the bill? Was there a pre-authorization?
There was, if I'm not mistaken, there was, because I can't recall. I was in pain, so I don't really pay attention what the finance guy was talking about. But they actually were asking which insurer are you with, whether can they just sign it off first before they settle the bill at a later part.
You bring up a fantastic point. How many of you would rather think about, which insurer I have, or what's my coverage, or would you rather just go hospital? Please help me.
Yeah.
Help me,
Yeah.
please. I need help. Just charge it to my insurer. Wouldn't it be so much better? Right, than having to think, can I afford to go to hospital? Can I get covered?
Back then, when I was in the force, you know that any injury occurred during work is covered by the company, majority of it. So you don't really think about it. But now that you are self-employed and your insurance is personal, you're already in pain, you still have to think, which coverage am I covered for before you make the decision. So if you're not fully covered, it's actually an extra burden for you.
Kan? It's so scary, especially when we go back to what GE did. And GE pulled pre-authorization, meaning that people who go in, there's no guarantee that maybe they can get covered. Maybe this procedure, insurer might pay, or do I have to pay it myself? So it's a bit scary, right? And when we look at it this way, there's so much uncertainty when it comes to Shield plans today. If GE can do that, can the other insurers say, okay, tak apa, we tarik the pre-authorization? If GE can do, we can do also. Takut. Good. By the way, if you're watching this on video on YouTube right now, you're probably wondering who's the handsome gentleman in the corner. That's Fer. Fer is our guest for today. Fer, say hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, Fer, you've been following the finance industry for a long time. What do you think? What's with all this pre-authorization stuff that's GE doing? How do you think it's going to affect a lot of our listeners and viewers?
I think, wow. Yeah, okay. Honestly, I think that if an insurer can do it, there is a possibility that even other insurance can do it as well. And for now, it might start with just GE, but it might move to AIA, might move to Singlife, might move to Income, right? And then for now, it's only just Mount E, right? So what if any insurer pulls out different other private hospitals, right? Because private hospitals are the ones that are increasing a lot of the costs heavily if in affecting our premiums. So this is where I foresee it happening. Yeah, unless something is done to control the costs of healthcare.
Yeah, Fer is absolutely right. I remember reading this article just a few days ago that apparently the shield plan providers, their profit margin is like 2%. Kan?
Yeah.
And then it's like, wow. And of course, on the consumer side, a lot of people, what you pay? I paid thousands and thousands of dollars. I never claim once or so. Confirm not got profit one. Right? Especially on the maaf cakap, the Asian mentality where if I pay, I must take as much as I get. Kan? Between us, who was the one who just did the quotations for one of our clients? Ashri, was it you?
I got a couple of quotations done.
Right. For a few of our clients for their shield plans.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, typically it's going to be a huge difference between the private hospital and the public hospital. We can look at anything upwards of between $500, $700, or even $1,000 when it comes to the premiums itself. You have to pay yearly. When I actually propose, most of them will be like, so much. So that'll be the nice way to put it. But of course, in the back of her mind, if I'm the consumer as well, I'll be like wondering, why do I need to pay so much? And then if seeing this GE with the Mount E situation, I'll be like, why am I paying so much and I'm not getting this? So that's the thought that occurs to me, and probably some in the future if the news actually gets to the ears of my future clients as well. So this is the part where I actually do wonder, the benefits, of course, of getting a private hospital coverage. There's lesser waiting time. You probably get treated like a king or queen. You're on a priority basis. But is that really, really necessary for most of us? I mean, if you can afford, by all means, lah. But for the both of us, and my experience as well, public hospital has been more than enough for me. Personally, some people actually prefer not to be in a quiet room all by themselves, Kisah-kisah
Especially
seram.
in a hospital lagi.
Seram,
yes.
I don't want to be alone.
So yeah, that's my take on it lah so far.
Yeah, and you're right. Now the premiums between private hospital and the public hospital, the difference was what? $1,000 for a person in their late 30s? $1,000 difference per year, man. That was one you did for one of our clients, right? So,
Yes, I did it for him yesterday. He's in his late 30s. So part of it was trying to see how can he minimize his premium. So we were looking at an option for downgrade from a private coverage to a government class A, which was a difference of over $1,000 of premium from private to government class A.
per year lah. Per year. And here's the thing, folks. The harsh reality of it is this. Your shield plan, your hospitalization plan premiums are only going to increase. How many of you have actually seen insurance, they reduce premium? No such thing, man. Right? And like it or not, if you're listening in today, like it or not, every single day you're getting older. And as you're getting older, your insurance premiums, will it go down or is it going to go up?
Oh, yeah. Up.
Never in my life have I ever seen a letter that says, wow, congratulations, we're reducing your insurance premium because you're getting older. I got such thing, man. And just because of that also, right, we have clients who are making requests like, this one expensive, I want to change. I want to change to different insurer. Come, show me all the different insurers that you have. I want to know which one is the cheapest one. I want cheap. Cheap means good. So there is a story. There is one had to go through and is still going through with one of our other clients. And he had to go through multiple applications and all the application denied.
Yeah.
Someone tell us a little bit about this story.
Yes.
Now, names have been protected for clients' privacy, yeah? So, yes.
Of course.
Carry on, one.
So this client shared with us that they want a hospital shift plan. So, and they have a certain condition whereby they know that certain particular insurance that they tried last time wasn't able to cover them. So, of course, us at Financial Alliance, we are able to do the quotation for all the insurance, and we try to help. And because of that certain condition for her, and all of the insurance rejected the application. And it's quite sad. I mean, she's not so old yet, she's still quite young. And because of that condition, I mean, hard to say, because it is something not she's born with, it's something if she took up earlier, I mean, if there's a earlier plan, then it might cover because of that condition. But because she did not took the insurance earlier, then they have that condition. Mashallah, all the insurance company all rejected her application, especially for shield plan. So it's quite tough regarding that. We tried, but so far currently dah tak ada lagi. I mean, there's not much we can do already.
Yeah, so poor thing. This particular lady, I know her personally, and she is not physically ill. She doesn't have a physical medical condition. She had a mental one, right? She had a little bit of depression. I'll be clear. I have to say it out loud. She suffered from depression for a period of time, and now all of the insurer rejected all of her application. Cannot insure her. Physically, she's very healthy, alhamdulillah, but just because she had to suffer through depression for a bit, the insurers now deny all the applications. We had to go through 5-6 different applications, right?
Yes. All of the shield company. I mean, all the companies that provide the shield plan. Yeah, literally.
And that's what we did for her. We went through one by one. We apply, and we tell them, hey, this is my client. This is what's her medical conditions. Can you give me an answer? Can you insure and cover this person? All of them said no. And so it's getting harder and harder to get insured. It's the reality of life today. Because especially in Singapore's context, where if the insurers really are saying they are not profitable, they are losing money, some of them are saying they're losing money from doing shield plans, we might actually see shield plans getting harder and harder for us to get. Right? Can you imagine, sorry, you had an injury 10 years ago. Today you cannot get insurance. Ampos. And here's the reality of it, guys. How many of you know that we are all living longer and longer?
Yeah.
Life expectancy is set to increase, especially in Singapore. Those of you who are listening or those of you today, go and Google this. Singapore is an engineered blue zone. Blue zone. What's a blue zone? A blue zone is a part of the world where people live long, healthy lives. Okay? Singapore, how many of you can agree with me? We are clean, pollution is low, lifestyle, stressful, yes, but medical care is one of the highest in the world, and the likelihood of you passing away early is actually very, very low. And as we grow older, do you think we end up in hospital less often or more often?
More.
I've never met somebody who said, no, now I grow old, I confirm don't go hospital one, I go less.
Hospital come to me.
Hospital come to me. Hey, no, there are those, traveling doctors, the teleconsults.
Yeah.
So on that note, don't be surprised that doctor really do come to you. And so at the end of the day, folks, those of you who are listening in today, the topic of shield plans in Singapore has been a very hot topic for the past 10 to 20 years. When they first started being introduced until today, there have been so many changes to the shield plan system, to riders, to main plans, to limits. Last time got no limit. Last time can cover 100%. Now you cannot cover 100%. And it's a very, very confusing topic, even for financial advisors. I'll be absolutely clear. And Alhamdulillah, me and the guys, we are very, very updated. We know what we're talking about, and we're here to help. So for those of you out there, yourself, your spouse, your parents, your children, your relatives, anybody you know who has questions and who needs help with their shield plan, the most basic of all coverage, the most important insurance coverage is your shield plan, let us know. What are some of the struggles you have? What are the questions you have? Whether even if you need your own particular shield plan to be updated and reviewed, let us know. So gentlemen, any last words about shield plans before we end this particular episode of the MMF podcast?
What about those who don't see the need for having a shield plan? Because I have some prospects which I'm trying to talk to who are not convinced because I have my company medical coverage. So I don't need a personal shield plan.
How do we answer that? Anybody got the answer?
I think you can bring up your current experience. Right?
It's the same like it's the same like you say lah, Zul, last time when you are in the force, then you say the force will cover everything. But now, actually, again, just my experience with the cancer, remember? So the force doesn't cover me for my cancer, you know? So at that time, if I don't have the shield plan, the from the insurer, I will pay 10% of my bill, which is almost 100,000 at the end of it. 10% of 100,000 is 10,000 in cash. So that's one of the way that I say you better at least get government shield. That government
Personal,
shield, personal up to the public A, to at least lower down the cash out when we are treatment or we are warded. If not, you'll be paying 10,000. For my bill, 10,000 cash. How many of us have that? If you have, alhamdulillah, good lah. Tapi, wouldn't it better if we pay lesser when we can? So that's always one of the way lah. What I say for those who they say, when we go hospital, the medishield will cover us, everything. Okay, yeah, for normal cases, yeah, alhamdulillah, will cover. But what if the case is macam like my cancer, very big cases, or even heart surgery ke apa? Nauzubillah, we don't want that to happen. But what if? So that's where lah.
You bring up a fantastic point, and here's the standard answer I give to all our clients. Number one, can you guarantee that you will be with that company for the rest of your life? Do you think the company is going to one day say, bye-bye, I fire you? Right? So just because you have company insurance doesn't mean it's going to stick with you forever. That's item number one. Item number two. How many of you know that company insurance got limit?
Yeah.
And the limits are much, much lower than your personal insurance. Right? And then on top of which, we've had cases, this one I've seen firsthand. One of my clients got sick. Breast cancer, got sick. Claim from company first. Claim from her personal insurance after that. Then cannot work for a long time, right? Company cut her off. Kena fired.
Wow.
Then how? Can you imagine if she don't have personal insurance? Claim from company, after claim from company, left the company because got fired, right? And then want to buy her personal insurance, cannot buy because got pre-existing medical condition. Kena left, right, center, eh? And so in today's context, in today's world, right, do you think that your company is loyal to you. Maaf cakap lah, a lot of companies out there, we are
Shut up.
replaceable. Very, very replaceable. So if you think that your company has enough insurance for you, you are wrong. Because the company needs to provide that basic level of cover because it is government regulation. They don't provide, they langgar. Then how? So they give you the bare minimum, bare basic. Okay dah, you claim lah. Dah habis. Dah sakit, dah claim habis. Okay, tak apa. No more job for you. I don't want you to work because which employer, let's be frank, which company will continue to hire somebody who cannot work? Continue to employ somebody who cannot work. Tak ada lah. You lose your job. After that, you lose your job, you are sick, you cannot buy insurance anymore, and you're left by yourself. It's a harsh, painful reality that all of us out here must face. So for those of you who are employed and you think that your company insurance is enough, let me tell you, maaf cakap, you are 100% wrong. Company is not going to take care of you. You got to take care of yourself first. Then after that, if you do fall sick, take advantage of whatever benefits the company give you. Then once you exceed and exhaust the limits, then use your personal insurance to cover. I've seen it firsthand multiple times. It's a harsh reality of life. Any more last words before we end for the day? Yes, Fer, come, tell us.
Yeah, so last year I had one of our readers send me an email talking about one of his insurance policies jumped up by $2,000 and the insurer doesn't want to renew his policy. So just a bit of a background context. So I actually went to dig and talk to this reader further. His policy, his supposedly shield plan was bought 20 to 30 years ago, right? So it's very old. And then he did not get it reviewed. He did not get it checked over the years. He is in his 70s, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. And then when I dug even further, turns out it's not even a shield plan. The policy was stopped being issued, I think, 12, 13 years ago. And the insurer is just offering it, offer to continue it because you already bought it 20, 30 years ago, right? So they're just out of goodwill.
They grandfather it.
Yeah, they grandfathered the policy for until last year, or was it 2 years ago? And then they said, okay, we have to stop. If you want to buy the shield plan, you have to convert it over into a shield plan. So it was a health insurance policy, then you convert it to a shield plan, and it was a jump of $2,000 extra on top of what he was paying already. So imagine at like 70 plus years old, your shield plans, depending on which tier you buy, it's already $4,000 to $6,000, depending on which insurer, right? And then you have to top up another $2,000 because previously it wasn't a shield plan. So yeah, so the premiums are just basically high for a retiree at 70 plus. Yeah, so I think it's very also important that to review your policies constantly, because it's not just about the insurance premiums going up. Your policy might even be outdated. And when you still have the chance to convert it into something that is more relevant, you should definitely do it. Yeah. So that's
Thank you, Fer. That's an amazing one. I've not seen one of those old health insurance plans for a decade. Yeah. One really old plan.
Very old, yeah. I didn't even know what policy it was, and I review policies a lot. So I was like, wow, what is this? Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Can you imagine this? At the time when you really, really, really need the insurance coverage, they say, I don't want to cover you. You want to cover, you pay more. And then at that point, do you think you have enough money to even cover? Sometimes being sick is so much tougher than just dying. And at that point, I'm certain the guy is like, oh my God, man, might as well just die, man. You know? It's going to be damn tough. And so, folks, the harsh reality of life is that you need insurance, right? And it's such a taboo word. There's so many agents out there. Insurance agent, I'm looking at all of you. Okay, insurance agent. Oh, my agent tell me buy ILP, good. My agent tell me buy endowment, good. Please lah. There are very, very few scenarios where an ILP and an endowment actually make sense. Insurance is there to protect you against financial risk, not to grow your money. And so if you're afraid of something happening, please go and review your insurance. Remember, we met one of our clients, Puan, nama dia, we're not going to say the name, but she's a Puan Puan was paying $12,000 a year, 11,700 or 11,500 per year. And then when we check, her total coverage for death was $100,000. Her total coverage for critical illness was less than $50,000. And she's like 50 plus already. And she's paying almost 12K per year. And I'm like, wow. She said, yeah, so if I fall sick, what happened? Puan, maaf cakap, better to die. Really. Because at that point, for $12,000 a year, her death coverage only 100K is a whole stack of endowment plan. Then she said her insurance agent said this one good for her. What utter BS. Juan, do you have something to say? Because this was the case that you're handling.
Again, we try to do the quotation for her shield plan because she do not have any shield plan. And she have medical pre-existing condition. It's so hard pain. I mean, mashallah, I want to help these people. We want to help these people. Then when they come to us say, oh, actually I on this medication for the past few years already. Mashallah, I'm like, okay, never mind. We do our best. Then I try to tell her, no, prepare all the memo, prepare all the whatever. Then it takes time. But we all know, macam, this is going to be a tough case, but inshallah, we do our best, definitely. Yes.
I have a question. So when she bought those policies from her previous agents, did she already have pre-existing conditions? Because that's quite normal for agents to recommend endowment plans because it's guaranteed insurance if you have pre-existing.
Fantastic question. I will answer this. When I look at all her plans, the plans are all old. The plans are all old. And this goes back to one of the points that I want to make to all agents out there. If you're going to sell insurance, make sure you sell comprehensive coverage. I feel it's so irresponsible for an agent to not even suggest a shield plan for her. When we look at the inception dates for all the different endowment plans, she bought it when she was much younger. And she only told us that she had these medical conditions only within the past few years. So relatively recent, which means she don't have any medical condition. When she's super healthy, can buy all the properly covered insurance plan. Nope. The insurance agency don't buy endowment better for you. Irresponsible, right? Irresponsible. Can you imagine if she falls sick and go hospital right now, the first thing she will curse is, how come my agent never give me the right coverage? And that's why I tell all our guys here today, when we talk to our clients about financial planning, not just insurance, we talk about investments, we talk about inheritance, we talk about all the five I's of Islamic finance. We have a fiduciary duty, a legal duty to ensure that our clients are properly taken care of. And from an Islamic perspective, it's an amanah. It is a trust. Somebody trusts you literally with your life, with their lives. Help me plan my life. And if you only sell them to line your own pockets, something is fundamentally wrong. And on the day of judgment, we all have to answer. So whenever a client comes to us, the amanah that we have, the trust that we have is to give them the best possible comprehensive financial plan, from income to insurance to investments to independence and inheritance in Islam, inshallah. And on that note, we're going to end the podcast episode on amanah and on trust. And for those of you listening or watching, if you have any questions, send us a DM, send us all your burning questions. If you have no idea what to ask, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help. My name is Afiq, Chief Finance Engineer at Modern Muslim Finance. These are my brothers from other mothers. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We'll see you in the next episode, inshallah. Assalamualaikum.